YouTube channel. I have another update. You probably already know about this video, but whatever. This is my NaNoWriMo to-do list. So I'm just going to run through all the things that I'm hoping to get done in the month of October, so that I will be fresh and ready to go for November, and I won't have a bunch of distractions going into the month. So here's on my to-do list. The first thing is Tabby. No. He likes to scratch the carpet. That's bad. To-do list. The first thing, I would like to read 13 books in between when I'm filming this and the end of October, which is a lot. But I've got two reasons for that. One is that I'm taking yoga teacher training, so that'll actually be back in my last point, but I am taking yoga teacher training, so some of the books that I need to complete reading are for the training specifically, and then I'm also doing a Goodreads challenge, and I do this every year. I try to read 52 books in a year, so in order to make sure that I've made as much progress as possible and I don't get too far behind in the month of November, I'm already a little bit behind, but so I don't get further behind, I would like to read 13 books in the month of October. So that should be fun. And then also I need to have those finished for my teacher training so that I can complete my homework. So that's the first thing. The second thing is I want to write 3 author updates. So for my Patreon, I post a monthly update, and there's a couple things that I cover, like, you know, just updates about my current works in progress. I also do like my book list, my read list for that month, so I add that. And there's just a couple other just like chit chat that I like to get out of the way, and you know, anybody who's following me can pull those up on my Patreon. It's not part of one of the tiers on my Patreon, it's just as like general information. But I do put it out at a regular cadence at the beginning of the month, so that's something that I would like to have done in advance. And that doesn't necessarily, like, of course, I don't know what books, if any, I mean, I may not read during the month of November. We'll see how that goes. But if I am, you know, reading books, then of course I would go in and I would add that, but I like to have everything pretty much drafted, that I'd like to say, and at least if I've got everything scheduled and things are still moving along as scheduled, then I can have those ready in the updates, and it's just minor tweaks versus creating a whole new document. So that's the second thing. The third thing on my list is I want to write my research updates. So that is part of one of the tiers, but I like to share information that I've been researching for my current works in progress. So right now I'm working on 3 different things. I have one book with my beta readers. I have one that I'm wanting to write in November that I'm going to do for NaNoWriMo. And then I'm working on a book of poetry. So those are my 3 current big projects. Oh wait, I told a lie. I'm actually working on 4 projects. The 4th one is I'm actually world building for an epic fantasy. I think that's what it's going to be. We'll see what it turns into. But so those are the 4 projects that I'm working on. Number 4 is I want to schedule my November, December, and January playlist. So I do a free playlist. It rolls out to my Patreons first, and then it comes out about 10 days later ish to everyone else. But I do a monthly writing playlist. So I already have all my playlists together, but I also write a fun little it's a kind of poetry, but and I can't even remember the name of the kind of poetry. I write it all the time, but I don't know what it's called, and I should probably fix that. But it's basically like whatever the first letter of the month is, all the big words, like, you know, you're gonna have like or, and, for, you know, but like things like that will stay in. But for the most part, it's every single word would be a letter, starts with a letter that the month starts with. So I need to write those poems, have everything ready, and get those posts ready to go so that I'm not distracted. And I'm also, the reason I'm doing it in advance is, like, in October, I was gonna have to do October's anyway, November, I'm gonna wanna have it ready to go. And then December, I'll be coming out of NaNoWriMo at the time that would be posting. So that way I give myself a little bit of wiggle room, and I don't have to, like, you know, go straight back into everything. That way I can be like, okay, just checking stuff, maybe putting some finishing touches on things, but for the most part, everything's done and ready to go. That's the other objective. So that's the fourth thing. The fifth thing that I want to do is prep and schedule those storyboard updates. So I talked about like my author updates, my research updates. I also do a storyboard update, and so that is where you can see the connections between the characters or the races in the world building that I'm doing. So I want to have all of that ready to go. I do one of those every month, and so I'm just kind of prepping everything that I can to get it ready for during the month when I am very busy. Number 6, creating playlists for my YouTube channel. So I'm trying to keep everything very organized, and I don't want to get behind on that. So by having a playlist for each month, that I also share that playlist to my Patreon. And then it also makes it easier for people to find what they're looking for, or like for me to find what I'm looking for. So I do try to keep it organized by subjects, how-tos, like my personal just information dumps about like what's happening with my writing and going on my channel, and it helps keep me accountable. So I like to have all that, I like it pretty and organized. So that's why this is on my list. Then number 7, record my beta reader update. So the video before this is most likely a beta reader update. And I do one again every month. So I have a written one and then I have a video one. The content is a little bit different just because I get into more detail in the video versus the monthly updates just says that I have a project working. It doesn't give any detail about where things are in the project. And the beta reader updates are most specifically to the book that I have currently with my beta readers and what I'm learning through the process versus just saying it's happening. So number 8 is to prep my remaining chapters for my beta readers. So up to this point, I didn't really know what the beta reader process was going to be like. So I've been prepping the groups of chapters as I go. I would like to have those for the rest of the book completely ready to go so that when people are ready to be moved to the next set of chapters, I just add the person and go versus having to go in and, run my grammar software and all of that kind of stuff on it. So I just want to make sure that that's ready so I don't get behind. Let's see. So number 9 is to record all of my videos. So I'm going to have everything pre-recorded till the end of December, most likely. Ideally speaking, I'm only doing at this time 1 video a month every Friday, but I would like to have those all ready to go because I do have so many ideas, and if I can just get it done ahead of time, then it allows me to focus on the writing part for right now. And also if anything comes up and I'm like, oh, I can't do this right this second, it's okay because I'm working ahead as I go. The next thing on my to-do list is actually to order a new planner. Right now I have been using this Happy Planner. And this one is an 18-month planner. I actually switched planners in the middle of the year, so I have not used part of this one. Let's see, when did I start using this? I think, yeah, so it looks like I started using this end of March, beginning of April. So I didn't use about half of it, which I was fine with because my previous planner just really wasn't working for me. And it's like, if it's not working, then what's the point of doing it? I've been so much more productive with this planner. I don't know if I'm going to get the same kind of planner. I've actually been looking at a few different designs, but I do like to use a planner all the time. And this one has been really effective. And I know it probably doesn't make sense that I want to change planners if this one's been effective, but that's a whole nother subject. I'm open to options. So if you have a planner that you like, put it in the comments. I want to know about it. So that was number 10. Number 11, I don't have any more fingers for this, y'all. prep my weekly beta reader email. So every week I'll like try to check in with my beta readers, and I just kind of want to pre-write those and maybe get it down to a template. I already sent them an email and let them know, hey, I'm going to be a little more out of pocket than I usually would be. Here's what I'm doing. Here's what's happening. I'm keeping busy. If you need me, text me. I am me. They all know me personally, so yeah, if you need something, say something kind of thing. And I just wanted them to know ahead of time, but I do want to kind of give those weekly reminders just to be like, hey, it is that time again, just so we stay on schedule. The last thing on my to-do list is thing number 12, which again, I don't have enough fingers for, so whatevs. Plan for my yoga teacher training final. So I need to, I've actually I've got everything scheduled as far as where I need to be prepping for NaNoWriMo for the book itself. But since October, my final's in October, I'm going to be like prepping to write the book as well as prepping for my final at the same time. And then my final is going to be right before, I think it's like the 3rd or 4th week in October. So they're going to be like, and then I've got to just be off to the races. So I need to know what I'm doing ahead of time. So I'm kind of multitasking right now, but those are kind of the two big things and why it's going to be so busy back to back. One's prepping for a big thing, the other one is like I'm wrapping up a big thing right now, and I'm super excited. So come the end of October, I will be taking my final and have my 200-hour yoga teaching certification if all things go as planned. So yeah, that is my NaNoWriMo to-do list for October, and we'll keep you posted on how that goes. Yeah, so thanks so much for watching, and oh, thank you to my patrons over on Patreon. You guys are awesome. And yeah, look me up on the social medias and stuff. I'm on Twitter and all that jazz. So yeah, if you want to come talk, and I'll see you next time.